Hello, 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 everyone. This is episode 5 of the Courier Corner. That's right, right?
Totally right.
Perfect. And this is our cultural heritage episode. I am one of your hosts, Gwen Pemberton.
For the last time in person. Everybody get emotional right now.
Not last time ever.
For right now. For the rest of the year. And I'm Avery Nowicki, your communities editor and also the co-host of the podcast.
Yes. Before we get started, the Courier Corner would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional and unceded territories of the Lillooet, Musqueam, Seashelt, and Tsleil-Waututh nations.
Awesome.
Okay.
Before we begin, how are you doing? How are you enjoying life?
I'm good. I'm nervous right now because I have a flight in like 12 hours to Amsterdam for 6 months, so I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
But, I've just been distracting myself with work all day. I got to campus at like 11 a.m. and now it's dark outside, so I did a good job distracting myself.
Totally.
And then I'm gonna go to sleep and then wake up and do laundry and then go to the airport.
Go on your big adventure.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing so awesome. I'm hanging out with all my friends today. Life is so good. Hanging out with Gwen. Things are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
So
you didn't get to print any merch today, though.
I didn't get to print any merch. Frey, I'm looking at you.
It's your fault. You didn't bring anything.
Yeah, I got a shirt. I found a shirt for all of our CapU students. We have the community closet, to which you can find some great free clothing. I stole a free pair. Did you hear the way I said pair? I stole a free pair of like shorts or something 4 days ago, and today I stole a free shirt.
I don't think it's stealing if it's for everyone.
It feels like stealing.
Okay, dude.
Anyway, but we've been having a really good day in the office, and we've got lots to talk about with this month's issue.
Yes, we do.
This month, we focused on cultural heritage and community, which led to some really interesting and also very diverse articles. While it was kind of a broad topic, we got to cover quite a few things, which was interesting.
Yeah, we did. We have our cover issue that we'll dive more into later, which I wrote with help from Laura, our video production manager, and which Avery edited, and some other things we have. I would also like to talk about the article on the new edition of the Legends of the Capilano, previously Legends of Vancouver, new print edition of that well-known Vancouver classic written by E. Pauline Johnson. This new edition has a lot of new input from the Matthias family, and it includes for the first time stories from Joe Capilano's wife, Mary Agnes Capilano. So I would definitely check that one out. There's a lot more info there. I believe we talked about it a little bit in our previous episode, so if you're curious, check that out. They also have the book launch on YouTube on the Massey Art Society YouTube page if you want more information from the family or from the editor of the new edition, Alex Shields.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what are our typical things we cover in our little intro. Well, we can talk about the people we have coming on today. That's always fun.
Yes, let's do that. I'll let you do that.
So this month we got to talk to our staff writers, which was great. So we talked to Lea Krusmeyer and
Kirsten Wiltshire.
Kirsten Wiltshire, thank you. Which is actually just about to happen if you stay tuned. So that's super exciting, and stay tuned for that. We had a really good conversation with them on the writing process at the Courier, kind of the way that position works, which is always interesting. So
yeah, we dove into sort of the behind the scenes. We talked about some of their favorite issues and favorite pieces that they've written for us and what they hope for the future. Stay tuned for that. They're lovely. And we hope that they stick around.
Oh, we also were told in our script that we're allowed to talk about our New Year's resolutions and things we are excited for in 2024.
Yes.
Somebody has a big 2024 ahead of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, we talked about it a little bit already, but this is my last episode in person for a good chunk of time. I'll be in Europe tomorrow. And then I won't be coming back until the end of July because I'm going on exchange to Amsterdam. So that's very exciting. I'm learning a lot. If you've been following along in the student abroad column in the back of the Courier, you can see that I'm maybe a little stressed, but it's going to be okay. For anybody who wants to go abroad, there are some tips and tricks in the January issue. Everything I've learned from every single mistake that I've made. So hopefully that helps somebody because it gave me a heart attack. But I think that it's going to go about as smoothly as it could go. I'm excited. My goal is to visit 5 countries besides the Netherlands. as you'll see later, I'm going to try and catch Lea in Germany. I'm going to try to go to Iceland. I'm going to try to go to Belgium, Italy. Romania is a long shot because I have a friend from there. So long shot, but we might throw that in there.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's just exciting, kind of stressful time. I'm kind of at the point where the roller coaster started and I just got to stay strapped in and throw my hands in the air. So
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
there's that coming up. And how's your year shaping up?
My year's shaping up pretty good. I'm finishing up my studies at Cap this spring, and so I'm having some fun doing that stuff. And life is good. I'm trying to plan my career this year. And speaking of New Year's resolutions, oh my God, my New Year's resolutions are so unattainable. They've been so fun. So that's good.
Unattainable.
Yeah.
And that makes them fun because...
Because I have nice, high expectations, which is good. Yeah.
You have a very different approach to life than I do.
I do. Did you set any New Year's resolutions for your travels? Anything?
Other than the 5 countries, I made a list of like things that was like make new friends or like make a new friend because I have reasonable expectations for myself. A singular new friend. I can do that.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was like care less about what other people think of me, which, you know, being on the internet is helping with because I'm just like whatever. I showed up today and I was like, these are my plain clothes because everything else is in storage. So this is what you get today.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best.
Well, that's good. Okay.
But what are yours? I would love to know yours.
Some of them are really unrealistic, guys. Like, it's kind of bordering on embarrassing. I have a goal in 5 years to become a fashion micro-influencer, something we should all be excited for, okay? And
do we have a new Instagram account for that yet, or is that forthcoming?
Avery has been filming YouTube videos in their apartment of me. So see, things like that. And then also, I have a goal to get a marketing job this year and work in product and digital marketing. That's exciting.
Fairly attainable.
I think that's okay. I have no marketing experience, but I hope so. This is kind of marketing.
Yeah. I mean, it's going on Instagram.
Marketing myself.
We got Nardwar to follow us back.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
we won't shut up about it. We're going to bring it up every single episode, aren't we?
I'm going to put that on my resume. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had something to do with that.
Yeah. I think it was mostly Eli, but we'll take some credit because he's not in the room right now.
I don't think like my future bosses at my marketing job will know that. I think it's fine.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so fashion micro-influencer.
Okay, let's drop it.
Fine. I don't think Avery wants us to go to their YouTube page.
No, guys, this is embarrassing.
Come on. You should have done what I did and scrubbed your YouTube channel from the internet.
I know. Okay, well, that was a super fun topic. I'm really glad I brought
it up.
Because somebody put it in the script.
Oh, yeah. Because you have no control over what you say or do.
I know. I thought it would be fun, and I regret it. Okay. As we do.
Then why don't we divert the conversation completely and go have our chat with Lea and Kirsten?
Yes, let's do that. Cool.
Welcome, Kirsten and Lea. How are you guys doing?
Great. How are you guys doing?
We are here.
We're doing so good. We're so
alive.
pumped. Amen. That's all that really matters. We're so happy to be here. Things are so good.
It is actually a very fun day here in the Courier office. We're doing pitch proof. We are making all kinds of merch, as you can see here. We are filming this podcast. I got to film a whole video. You might hear Freya doing more lino printing in the background. It's just a very full day here. So we are ready to get this show on the road.
Yes.
We good?
Avery was moving around their microphone way too much.
Okay.
Okay, we're calm and collected. I had to get, for behind the scenes, I had to get my own personal microphone because my posture is really bad when I have the normal ones. So,
oh, is that why it's like that?
Just a special little fact.
We couldn't get this off this one. We tried our best.
Totally. Yeah, don't worry.
It's fine. Anyway, these two are our crew writers. They just joined us this year at the Courier. How long have you two been contributing before you began as crew writers?
I started contributing like half a year before I became a crew writer.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know that was an option at that point. I just met you and figured out that I can write for the Courier and actually even make money doing that, which was kind of crazy because why would anyone pay me before? It was always just like, I like to write.
Yeah.
So I would write, but I didn't even consider that like before I have a professional job in the field, I could make money.
Yeah.
And then Gwen here guided me towards the career, and here I am, 1 year later.
Nice.
Very cool.
Well, if it helps, there was no such thing as a crew writer before this year, so you weren't able to.
Oh,
But
wow.
We're pioneers.
yeah, you are pioneers.
That's
You're the
awesome.
first.
Very
I don't
cool.
know. I don't know about pre-pandemic, but I know that we definitely didn't have any post-pandemic until you two joined us. So we're very thankful for that because the editors were getting very tired. So thank you so much. And what about you, Kirsten? You've been writing for the Courier for a while.
Yeah. Well, only the year prior to joining as a crew writer. But yeah, picked up some articles, and then I think I saw you guys in the Birch Building.
Yeah, for Coffee with the Courier.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah. And so there was like so many different things you were hiring for, and then this just felt like the most viable one for me.
Yeah,
Really?
your guys' position is fairly flexible compared to our more permanent positions. Could you kind of maybe bounce back and forth and sort of describe what you do for the audience who might not know what a crew writer is?
So first, as you just mentioned earlier, today was the pitch and proof day, which is when everyone basically who has a good idea can bring the idea towards the career, and then it's going to be decided. That was wrong English.
You're fine.
fine. We'll
Don't
go
even
with it.
worry about it.
We picked it up.
At least you have an excuse. I do wrong English and I'm like, well, I just have to move on with my sentence.
Fair. So on pitch day, there's like pitches that are being suggested to the career, and then that's something that we can do too, like us as the crew writers. If we have anything interesting that we think about or that came to us, we can just pitch it and then either write it ourselves or get someone else to write it. So it goes on the big document that's being sent out to the people, and that's just one of the steps, but there's surely more.
Yeah. So we have to pick up at least one article a month to stay like within our position as crew writer, and then we can pick up as many more as we want or works for us, which is super nice because I really love that flexibility because some months are just way more hectic than others. And then also having that added challenge of maybe picking up articles that haven't been picked up by other contributing writers, and having the challenge of like writing about something that you might not have as much of a vested interest in, but ultimately you get to learn about something new, which is super cool.
Yeah, for sure. And for this past issue, for the February issue that we've been proofing today, how many each did you do? Because I know, Kirsten, you helped me out a lot because I've had a very hectic month, and I messaged in a panic because I picked up like 4 articles, and I was like, I can do 2, and I need help. So you wrote a bunch for me, and Lea, you did a bunch for opinions. I
usually write for Jade, who's the opinions editor, just because that's like mostly what I'm interested in, and I like being able to put my own thoughts to it.
Yes.
And I think I wrote 4 in total.
Yeah.
Okay. One was for you.
Yeah.
One was for culture.
I do communities, but
Communities, exactly. And then I also did a feature for Gates.
Exactly.
Like, I was all over the place. Right. I usually don't like doing the features because it's more like fact-based, and I like to have ideas that I can put into it.
That's why you don't like when I edit your work, because you're like, I want my opinion, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't put it in there.
That was one time, okay, and it was a topic that was very close to my heart.
I know.
But overall, it's interesting, even having to write things that are not necessarily like what I like. So having to write a feature where there are certain rules that I have to follow, it's a challenge, but I take it because it brings me further in my like writing abilities. Yeah. And this is what I want to do like as my career later on.
Right.
So thank you, career.
Great. That's cool. Do you want to tease for the viewers / listeners what that feature was?
It was a
It's in there.
It is in there.
Yeah.
It was for February.
You have to go into your mind palace.
It was for February.
What's our theme?
Sex.
All about sex.
Sorry, that took a second. It was about horror dating stories.
Exactly. Yep, I remember now. I read it 30 minutes ago.
It's called.
I'm glad you remember that.
Yeah, it's a great piece called Grindr, Tinder, and Co. And it's about horror stories that people had on the dating apps.
Perfect.
Very cool.
Okay. And Kirsten, maybe I'll throw it over to you. How was your month?
It
It was good. Yeah, I saw that message in the group chat and I was like, I have the capacity to write one more article. And there was another call for help message. And I was like, I can only do one. I can only do one. But yeah, I wrote, they were both for you.
They were both for me. Yeah. One was on intimacy coordinators.
Yeah.
And one was on
History of the vibrator.
the history of the vibrator. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both I learned a lot about, which was really cool, especially the intimacy coordinator one.
Yeah.
Also how new of a role it is. Yeah. Anyways,
Exactly.
I won't go into too much detail, but I can talk a
you
lot
can.
about it.
Could you go in a
can.
little?
Yeah, go into a little bit of
For
detail.
those of us who, I mean, I have some questions about the vibrator one, but I'm going to stick with the one we were just talking about. For an intimacy coordinator, what is that position? What did you learn about?
Yeah. So I learned that it started pretty recently. So I don't know how to
think
say
2014.
Yeah, 2014. Ida O'Brien. She was kind of the pioneer of the role. But she kind of adapted it from an intimacy director, which is a role for live performances. So in the theater, and they kind of choreograph intimate or simulated sex scenes. And yeah, O'Brien just saw a need for it in film and TV. And so she kind of developed the role and then it kind of took off from there. And now it's like a kind of like a sought after role for a lot great, which is
Really
great.
cool.
And you
Yeah.
talked to Peelin Johnson, who is an
Yeah.
instructor at CapU, and she is she works with students in, I believe, ASAS and theater and musical theater productions. Is that correct?
Yeah, and she was talking about that and that she'd been asked to do some kind of workshops for how actors can work with intimacy coordinators. And yeah, she also walked me through the whole process of like what a project would look like for her. And just that it's like sets are now wanting more intimacy coordinators on them. And she also talked a lot about like not only the need for intimacy coordinators, but that the need for kind of any kind of mental health advocates or mental health professionals within the industry, and specifically for the industry, is something that she thinks is going to be
Yeah. Much
happening
more
soon.
needed and prevalent in the future.
For sure.
And I think one thing we didn't go into a ton of detail in the article, just because we have a limited word count, is they do things other than just sex on screen. They do maybe something that would be physically vulnerable, physically violent, incredibly emotional to shoot. Intimacy coordinators are basically there to make sure that the actors are comfortable and they know their rights when they're performing, and just keep everyone safe and mentally healthy and respectful while everything intense is happening on screen. Behind the scenes, everything is a-okay if the intimacy coordinator is doing their job. Stop
Totally.
laughing at me. Leah's been laughing at me for like 5 minutes, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
No, the problem isn't you. She was talking, and in the middle of it, I accidentally burped.
Oh, okay.
And then you're in my eye contact.
Oh, okay.
You're
okay.
like, I'm looking at you because you're there.
All right, I'm just a vessel.
I have ADHD. I need to focus on something.
Here. Flip through that.
That doesn't work.
Okay.
I can
Very
focus on Avery
interesting.
instead.
You can
Okay.
focus on me. I do like a lot of attention, yeah.
Perfect. Here we go. No attention to Gwen anymore. It's over.
So then I think you also mentioned a little earlier when you were talking about your introduction that you were really interested in writing before you got the Courier position. Were you also that way? Did you have an interest in writing before you started here? And were you writing a lot of things before you came into the Courier?
I was writing a bit, yeah. Most of my writing actually, I did a lot of writing sketch comedy stuff.
Oh, cool.
And so I wanted to try and write more serious things, and I had written some short stories as well and performed them. And so, yeah, I wanted to try a different style of writing, and I've always been interested in journalism, and I took Masa's class, as you have to, in the communications program. It's a great class. 185, I think.
What's the class on for those of us?
190. Yeah. 190.
What's it about?
Writing for
Popular media.
There we go.
3 communications people.
And Avery.
And Avery.
Yeah, it's a great class. But yeah, we had to do like a feature style piece, and that was really fun. So yeah,
What was that?
Freya is in the corner making cat sounds. Don't really know why.
she's making them. They're not coming from her
Unprofessional.
phone. She's just making them.
Yeah.
A little bit unprofessional on the set, but okay, that's fine.
She's the boss, so nothing she does is wrong, so that's fine.
For his beat red right now.
Anyway. I enjoyed that very much.
Okay. Well, that's great. So then tell me about your history in writing.
So I am in the community.
Now I'm the problem.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Big deep breath. Oh.
So
Okay.
my history in writing comes from the fact that I want to do journalism specifically as my career when I graduate. Like I chose communications as my degree because I knew that would bring me the closest to the job field where I want to end up in. And back home in Germany, right after I graduated high school, I volunteered for a newspaper, like a local newspaper, and it was more like actual interview based. They would like send me out in the field basically, and I would go to events and interview people and write about that. And then they offered me a position there, just similar to here. It was just like on a need basis. So whenever they needed me to pick something up, I would and I write it. And I knew I really enjoyed that. And then when I came here, I kind of like didn't do anything like that because I didn't really connect to like local Canadian newspapers. I didn't know how to do that. And then again through Gwen, I fell into this career thing and it just seemed right.
Yeah.
Like it was the same thing that I wanted to do before already, writing. It pays money and then it also gives me experience and I can put it on my resume.
Yeah.
And it brings great opportunities. Like in a few weeks, we're going to Edmonton to this national convention of all Canadian newspaper, like student newspapers
Yeah.
and journalists, and it's really cool. And it's something that I, as like an international student, would probably did not even know of.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, you guys are gonna have a really, really good time. I'm quite jealous. That
you're
I'm missing-
literally in Europe. What do you mean? You're literally going to be in
I'm so
Amsterdam.
You're
jealous.
literally from Europe,
And I
okay?
fled. I went here.
Well, that's great news for me. But
I'm not from Amsterdam though.
okay,
That's
It
true.
is great over there.
okay. Well, I am gonna go to Germany too, but maybe
You can just visit.
you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or I visit you in Amsterdam.
Okay, we'll figure it out later off air. But
Exactly.
yeah, definitely. You can't get away from me.
I won't.
No,
Yeah.
you can't. Oh, you actually do like me. Oh my god, I'm learning this for the first time. Just a teeny
It's a
tiny
really
bit.
special moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Wow.
was nice. Very cool. So what kind of journalism do you want to do once you're out of Cap? Do you have like a specific kind of beat that you want to work on?
I would like to do newspaper journalism. So basically the same thing that I'm already doing here, but on a even more professional setting.
Right. So you said when you were in Germany, you were doing a lot of interview-based work, but here you skew generally towards opinions. So which, if you could choose, when you're moving forward, do you think you would have a preference?
I don't really think I would have a preference. It's definitely easier what I'm doing right now. The opinion based,
Yeah.
it's easier. So that's why I'm doing it because it goes well with me going to school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have to like make time to interview someone, talk with that person, figure out a date, all these things. That worked well when it was my full-time job back home. But here it's just easier this way. So, but I enjoyed both equally.
Mhm.
I like writing about different events, but I also very much enjoy bringing my own opinion into things.
Yeah.
Very opinionated person.
You've got good opinions.
That's
yeah.
good.
So
yeah.
this is a good like field for me.
For sure.
So yeah, I don't think I have a preference. This is just for now the easier thing.
Yeah.
But in the future, I'll write whatever is available.
Yeah.
Unless it's about sports, I really don't care about sports.
Writing about sports is actually so fun.
We'll leave that to Maya, but if
Yeah.
Maya gives you a good pitch, they're really fun.
good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really fantastic. For a little way behind the scenes teaser, we will have a piece in our March issue about the new PWHL.
Yes.
Yeah, so look forward to that, everyone.
This is
And-
Canadian talk here right now.
Yeah,
as the
it's
international
hockey,
person,
so you're
I don't get
immediately
anything.
out.
Did
Okay.
somebody already claim that or?
Not yet. If you want to get in
Oh,
that pitch talk
baby.
before you go
Oh,
home.
baby.
Yeah, see you later. Look what you're missing
Okay,
out
cool.
on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. And then Kirsten, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you graduating at the end of this year?
I am graduating at the end of this semester.
This semester.
exciting.
Yeah, so this coming spring. yeah, couldn't be more excited. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's wild. I mean, over the winter break, I was just thinking about I don't think I've thought about how school has impacted my life. And I'm like, oh wow, it's been my whole life.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
not taken stock of that. So yeah.
Big life transitions coming up.
Yep.
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 And
And I'm feeling fine about it.
you're just feeling totally
Awesome.
fine.
Yeah.
Most people in communications have no idea what we want to do, so it's totally it's not nerve-wracking at all.
I mean, I have some like pretty solid ideas and solid direction. But you know, I'm also like not the type of person that's like, I'm gonna pick one thing and then that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. I feel like it kind of builds on itself. And yeah, I mean, I did a really great internship this past summer, and I've stuck around and worked a little bit for them over the school year. So yeah, hoping to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Keep
What
doing
did you
that.
do for your internship?
I worked for a production company in Vancouver. They mostly produce podcasts.
Oh,
Very
cool.
We're learning
Um,
this now.
No, I said that earlier. But they also do film and TV. They're called Kelly and Kelly.
Oh,
And-
really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good for
Yeah.
you. That's
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Gwen's an
that's
expert
pretty
here.
cool.
Very
Yes,
cool.
I am, and that's why I'm the senior editor on the couch. So
Totally.
That's why you drop MOPA.
Oh no.
no comment. Dylan did too.
Yeah. No, he graduated.
All these dropouts.
So did I.
Yeah, so it's not.
We have the same diploma.
Do you have a diploma and you're also graduating from community or
Yeah.
communications?
Yeah.
Wow, overachiever.
That's super cool. Awesome. So, do you want to continue then with journalism and with writing after school, or is it kind of like, because you were saying you want to do so many different things, will it just be like one stream of what you're up to?
Yeah. I think more like one stream. Like what I'm basically my direction right now is storytelling. Like I love it. I love hearing about other people's stories. My favorite part about working for the Courier is getting to interview so many different types of people that I wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to talk to. And so I think that's like my main priority. And I do really love the medium of podcasting. But I also really enjoy writing. So it's kind of like figuring out how I can write, but also do tell stories in other mediums like audio and visual. So, yeah, I'm just gonna see how far I can go with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe as we not come to a close, but come nearer to the end of this segment, if people want to check out your guys' writing with Courier, what is maybe the first one or two articles that you would suggest that they read out of all the
Good
ones that you've written?
Do you have an answer already?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I don't have a great one, but let's go.
Good job selling. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
It's
Yeah.
not that bad.
Okay, let's cut that.
Nothing gets cut.
No.
Nothing.
And let's do it again. I did a piece about a protest downtown last summer. It was about the ongoing like anti-trans hate wave that's basically going through Canada.
Mhm.
And I not really interviewed, but I went there with a bunch of really cool people, and I got them to give their opinions and their actual life experience as like trans people for this article. And it was very much like the piece that I felt the most connected to.
Mhm.
That's the one we were talking about earlier.
That's why we were fighting about
The
it.
one where Gwen edited it and had to take out a lot of my own personal opinion.
I remember sitting on the couch with you for that one because I think, was it in the community section?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the community section when we talked about it, because I think the best thing about that one was like, even though it was centered around community, it definitely was opinion lane, but because it, like you were saying, involved so many different people, you got this like really interesting
Yeah.
group of opinion. And so I think it was one of those times where you're like, "Ugh, it's so awkward when it doesn't fit into like these narratives you have for writing, but
Yeah.
it was I think you're right, for a first piece for your writing, after having read a lot of your writing, I would
Yeah.
say it's the best one to say, the way that I think you do have really good interview skills, but you also are really great at writing opinion and at also centering opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want
it's
this
a
to
good
come
one.
off as I didn't like the article. I really, really did. There were just a couple of I's that I wanted to take out that Leia wanted to leave in.
And also, it wasn't just Gwen. Like, the editing process here works the way that all the editors pitch in and like give
Yeah.
their opinions. So it wasn't just her who like took some stuff out. It was other people too. So there was no personal hate.
I know. No, there's it
Just
was
on a
it's
professional
all in
level.
good fun. It's mostly just us because we will go back and forth about that when we feel like teasing each other. But
Very true.
no, it is a really, really good piece and a great way to dive into your writing. I also like the opinion piece that you wrote about candles because I think it's funny.
That one, yes. That was
I don't know if
that's one of those pieces that I mainly wrote because I needed money. But I think that's valid too. Like, this is a job.
Again with the
This
selling.
This is a
Yeah,
hobby.
I'm not like
No, but this is the point I'm trying to make here is this is a hobby, but it's also a job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
of course you sometimes do things that you don't find necessarily super interesting personally, which for me, the candle piece, like, yes, I enjoy candles, but I don't need to write 700 words about that personally.
Yeah.
But it gets me professionally further because everything I write, I learn something from.
Yeah.
And if I write about something I don't personally connect to a lot, even better.
Yeah, and if you can make candles interesting, then you know you're pretty good at your job.
Exactly. And apparently people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My mom even like responded and said she bought a candle.
What?
It's awesome. So, okay, thanks, Mom.
You're making Bath and Body Works money now.
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah. And Kirsten, you've had a little more time to talk. To think.
Yeah. I think probably the mental health at CAP.
That's the one I was gonna say.
I knew so little about what the school is able to offer, and especially as someone like I'm in my 4th year, I'm graduating, and it had taken me till I had 1 semester left to learn that much about it.
That was in the December issue, right?
Yeah. So I feel like it's just a piece that I'm proud of because I think it gives people a lot of information, and hopefully it offers students some assistance that they may not have known was there for them.
And maybe a little more of a clear-headed view of what is actually offered than maybe the university's website would give them. Because you went through an interesting process for that one, right? You kind of like did a trial run and sort of signing up for all these services. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So basically I looked through the student healthcare plan, as well as went to the university's website to look at different resources for mental health. And I just followed every single link and every single program that they had available, and then went through with it. So I signed up for all the accounts. I went through the intake process for I can't remember what the name of the outside program is, but it's through our healthcare plan. Just to get a sense of what that process is like. And it was just so clear to me that if you are in crisis, that's going to be such a huge barrier to you. And so, just really trying to get a clear understanding of all the different avenues that were available. And it was just really fun to be able to dedicate several hours to it and to know that it was for something that I could sift through the information and parse out what was important. So
yeah, I think that's a fantastic pick. That's one of yours that really sticks out to me. So if people want to go check that out, and if you want a very open and unbiased look at actual mental health resources at CapU, that's a great place to go. Yeah.
Cool.
Is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
I don't think we've got any big questions for you guys. I feel like maybe you want to just talk a little bit about how you feel about your job. Are you happy with choosing the staff writer position? Are you happy where you are?
Your boss is over there.
Yeah.
The boss seems focused right now, so we're good. I enjoyed the staff writer position. For a while, I was thinking if I would maybe enjoy an editor position more. But I came to the conclusion that if one would open up, I would maybe go for it just to get more experience even, because that way I learn more about the behind the scenes, not just writing, but actually editing. But for right now, in this moment, I enjoy the writing because it's what I know how to do, and it doesn't I don't have to think about it a lot, which is great because this is the job that I do while I'm also at school, taking like 5 classes, also
Yeah.
having like an outside job. So there's a lot going on. But for future things in my career that I hopefully will have at some point as a journalist, having editorial experience seems interesting and probably necessary.
Well, you'll be here for another year, so
I will have a whole nother year.
keep
so
your eyes peeled.
let's see what the future holds.
Yeah.
Very cool. How do you like your job?
I love it. Honestly, like
good.
yeah, it's such a blast. It's a great challenge. It's also like a really good way to keep things consistent and to be consistently writing and writing new and different things. And then also this is a big thing with Cap, but it's really hard to find a community at Capilano. And I just think it's really great that like we have this space too. And it's been like a constant for me the past 2 years in my program. And so I'm just like, yeah, super, super stoked that I found it. And the staff writer position is such a great position, as you said, with the flexibility too. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I
Such a
would
good
second that because it's really nice to have people who you work with and you check in with. Like, we basically been having a party all day. We've been
It's
working,
so fun.
but
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really rowdy when I came
yeah,
in here.
we're like, oh, okay, this is a different energy. Okay,
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. I think that's all we have for you guys. So we'll let you
so.
go home before it gets. Well, it's already really dark outside, but
It's dark and rainy and gross.
maybe before
Yeah.
it gets too late.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. This
Thank
is So
you.
much fun.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. And I guess I'll see you guys next year.
That sounds insane.
God,
No, I'll see
wild.
you in Germany
Yes,
or Amsterdam.
That's true. I'll see you in Europe this summer.
We're gonna make that happen.
We're gonna make that happen, and now it's on public record, so you have no. You have
Exactly.
You're obligated.
Okay.
Also, shout out to the behind the scenes people who are
Yes.
setting all of this up.
Yeah, these poor people that
Great
that have to
job.
be
We
tear
love
down
Dylan and
after
Laura.
we leave. They're like, no, I'll just pack it all up. It's fine.
And then edit and do all
And
this
edit.
stuff.
I know,
There's a lot
right?
going on.
I know.
Yeah.
And I will say that everybody else is also invited to Europe if you do find the time. So
Totally.
Road
It's not-
trip.
It's not. Yeah, road. You're gonna drive.
Yeah. First we flight. What do we call it? Flight trip?
Yeah.
Flight. Tr-
Submarine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Submarine.
Yeah.
Yes. Swimming.
Yeah,
don't know.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
You can do an Ironman on the way.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Amazing. I'm getting my goal for 2024 is gonna
Well, now that we're back from that little interlude with Leah and Kirsten, we're gonna dive right into the January issue, all about culture and heritage. This gorgeous illustration is for the cover piece, all about unprepared students versus unprepared universities, sort of a follow-up to our over-registration of international students piece that Laura wrote last month. But before we get to that, we have a couple things we'd like to spotlight. Avery, why don't you take us away with the featured article for this month?
Sure thing. Do you want to switch things because you have?
Oh, sure.
page are
Let's
we
do
on?
that. Let's do that.
Oh, okay. Wait. I have your page. If you find my page.
Why don't
Okay.
I just talk about
Okay.
the article? So this article, sorry for our listeners, you can't see the gorgeous picture, but the viewers can. Check us out on youtube.com. So what we'd like to highlight this month is a lovely piece by Jasmine Garcha, one of our favorite contributors. They wrote a piece called Survival via Side Hustle, a drug dealer's method to affording rent in Vancouver. And if you love great stories, you love big personalities, and you want to see a little bit of behind the scenes of just how unaffordable Vancouver can get and what a lot of people need to do to make that work, it's a great one to check out. Jasmine did a fantastic job with the interview. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, totally. And then there's this one here of the slightly scary moon or sun guy. This is by Scarlet Side. Really beautiful art piece. It tells an entire story if you really look at it. Like, I was just staring at it for a second. I'm sorry, I was not listening to you. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, that shows you just how gorgeous it is, because Avery was
Totally.
couldn't even be captivated
It's
by my
blinding.
sparkling personality. So
It's blinding.
yeah.
It is actually really fascinating though. And then also there's the one on the other side about Vancouver's affordability crisis.
Yeah.
Both of
speaking
these really fascinating pieces. Definitely take a look at our featured artwork
Yeah,
because
our
I think
featured
it's
artwork for the month.
it's super
is-
interesting.
It's
Yeah,
gorgeous, and there's like a cool mixed media sort of theme between the two.
Totally.
They look really, really gorgeous. And maybe we will dive a little bit into the cover article. Again, unprepared students versus unprepared universities. We're just gonna rifle through this magazine one more time because this is our job.
totally.
So this one was written by myself and edited by Avery. There was also a lot of help from Laura, our video production manager. Again, she helped out with a bunch of interviews. We both conducted interviews for this piece. Faculty members share their experiences with the emotional labor attached to the increase in underprepared international students at CapU. There will be a more in-depth video on this article coming out on our YouTube channel, so keep an eye on our Instagram and our YouTube for that, where Laura and myself will be going more in-depth on the interview process and what we've learned. But essentially, this article was just designed to be a way for everyone to kind of see what the two sides of this issue are. Because as we say in the video, it's really hard to talk about underprepared international students without perpetuating a stereotype. And we wanted to kind of look at it and see what is the responsibility of the university when bringing in many cases, vulnerable international students to Canada with the promise of a permanent residency when maybe that isn't as attainable as they make it out to be. And then also what the responsibility of the incoming international students is to ensure that they are prepared for their studies. So it's a really, really complex issue. Thank you so much to all the professors that we spoke to that were willing to help us out and provide some insight and perspective on that. Thank you especially to Charles Campbell, who was willing to go on the record for that. This piece does really only explore the professor's point of view directly. We will likely do more follow-ups from international student perspective, especially with the newly released caps on international student enrollment in Canada. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on that, keeping an eye on Capilano U's response to that. I think this is one of the few times that we were maybe a little bit ahead of the curve on the issue. And we will be keeping a very close eye on it because the international community is very important to CapU, and we think it's super important that the resources are there for faculty and students and administration to support those people and get them everything they need, and ensure that every one of those numbers in enrollment is a person and that they need to be taken care of as best as the university and we as a student body can. Yeah. So for more information, check out this, the article or the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's such a good way to put it. I think especially, you're really right. This article, at least like the way we were working on it, came out so much earlier than a lot of other people, but you've seen this through every single university in Canada. It is such a massive subject, but I think you guys really did it, at least as you were saying, through the professor's perspective, in a really nice and integral way. And I think it was really good.
Good. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely one that I didn't take lightly. I was trying...
Yeah.
Again, it's really hard. It's a really hard topic to discuss, and we appreciate that all the professors were willing to. Yeah, we took a stab at it, and hopefully the readers get some something out of it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you want to go on to questions?
Yes, let's go into our questions.
So I believe that our questions are questions for this month.
What was our question again?
I know what it is. I'm a professional. I know what it is. You're supposed to try and guess my favorite moment of the podcast thus far, in honor of me leaving, I believe.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to guess your favorite moment of the podcast.
I hope we get renewed for a second season, because I don't... What if this is our last episode together?
I think you're
we
okay.
got the green light.
I think you're okay. I think we've just been renewed off screen.
Yeah, I feel like we are pretty secure in our jobs, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where this is the only workplace in Canada where your job is secure.
Yeah, good luck trying to replace us.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to guess first or do you want me to guess first?
Okay, so this is spanning over every single one of our 5 episodes together, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm 6 now.
We're gonna do no, this is our 5th. We're gonna do...
Oh, I said it wrong earlier.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're gonna do... Don't worry about it, guys. We're gonna do,
No, because there was 4.5 and then 5.
What was half? Oh, yeah, half. We made drinks.
Yeah.
Okay. we made drinks.
It's not confusing at all. It totally makes sense.
So is this 5.5 or is this 6?
I said 6, but it's up to you, dude.
It's 6. Oh, oh my god.
It's 5.
Freya, our editor-in-chief, who is also the big boss, says 6. So that's so bad. Okay, guys.
We don't know. But anyway, it doesn't
So,
matter.
For our
For everything that we've done so far.
let's talk about our all 5 episodes. Let's figure out what's our favorite moment of all of them. We're gonna redo this.
What?
Eli got this out.
He's
Okay.
not going to.
He literally never does.
Every time you say cut it out, he's like, and it's the bumper.
I
I'm
even
like, "Ah."
text him sometimes. I'm like, hey, can you cut this out? That was really embarrassing. And no. It's fine.
We're funniest when we don't mean to be.
Sometimes I'm so embarrassing sometimes. Okay. So your favorite moment out of all the episodes that I've been so lucky to share with you.
Yes.
Let's think here. Okay, so we have the first episode into which very serious subject. We were a little bit maybe uncomfortable still. Like I was getting comfy on the couch, as you could say. If you want to say that. Okay. I feel like it's not gonna be in that one. I feel
Okay.
like and then our second episode. Remind me, what was our second episode?
Food. November.
Oh, it was October, and we wore
Oh.
costumes.
Right, we wore costumes.
That is one of the favorites. I'll put that on the leaderboard.
Okay,
And-
I'm gonna just guess.
I don't want to. Fine, I'm gonna say the costumes.
Yeah, I would say that Theodore was probably one of my favorites.
You didn't want me to make an entire leaderboard of our best moments.
Well, I want to go home.
fine. Okay, fine. Somebody doesn't feel like being nostalgic. That's fine.
We can be nostalgic.
We'll be nostalgic later.
I think we're very nostalgic.
Okay, so would you
Okay.
agree? It was.
I would
the
agree
costumes?
that that was a good one. Yeah. And my guess for you would be making the drinks and angrily crushing candy canes with a stamp.
Okay, valid. Good guess.
Good guess. Incorrect.
Yeah. You want one more stab at it.
One more stab at it.
Okay, I'll just tell you.
No,
My-
no. Wait, I can do this. One
Okay,
more stab at it.
okay.
I get one more guess.
Okay.
Because you were right, and I want to try.
Was I actually right though, or did you just say that?
No, you were right.
Okay, sick. Okay. Let's
Okay.
think.
3, 2, 1. Talking about Laura's car going missing.
Oh, that's such a good one. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it.
That would do it? Okay, what were you thinking?
I was thinking about gabbing on the couch with Eli and Lucy. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
That was a although was that the same episode or was that the episode after?
That was
my
Halloween
favorite-
episode, I think.
No. That was later.
Oh no, we were talking about because Lucy was. Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're right.
Lucy.
So
Eli was awesome.
yeah.
Eli was there.
That was also the time we got Nardwar interested in
Following the podcast. Yeah. So all in
business.
all, I'd say that is an all-star episode.
we also burned some bridges with Ryan Reynolds at the time and almost doxed Ryan Reynolds' brother. You remember that? Good memories.
Don't bring that up.
Good memories.
I didn't burn any bridges. I like Free Guy. Eli and you burned bridges with Ryan Reynolds. Just
Yeah.
so we're clear.
That's a bridge I regret burning. Okay.
You should.
Anyway,
You should regret it.
some good favorite moments.
Yeah.
Very good.
So yeah, I mean, this has been really fun, but I will be back, and I'll still be part of this while I'm abroad, and I will definitely see you at the end of the summer.
Yeah, you're stuck with me for sure.
Yeah, yeah, because we'll both be coming back next year, and you and I will probably be doing some onboarding for our roles in August. So I will see you in August.
Oh, that would be we may do that. That's very interesting. Fascinating stuff. Super exciting to see what the future holds.
Yeah.
Until then, hopefully we'll see you virtually while you're in Amsterdam or something.
Yes, but either way, the viewers and the listeners will see you, be it alone or with a guest.
That's me. Yeah. So that will be good.
So Avery will keep you all company while I'm away.
Mhm.
I will say hi from abroad, and thank you all so much for anybody who's enjoyed what we've been doing this year. We've had a blast.
It's
Yeah.
been super fun. Well, have tons of fun on your new adventure that you're going on.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody for listening to this episode. It was a little bit hectic, Lots of fun.
I think it was one of our less hectic ones, which says a lot about us.
I would put it on the tier list. Yeah, I'd give it like a solid 3 out of 5 on the hectic
You
scale.
just love ranking things
I
today.
do. Can you tell I'm a planner?
Yeah. No, it's okay. So am I.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much to everybody.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you, everybody, for listening. Have a fantastic February.
Mhm.
And we will see you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.